Welcome to this model and this presentation. Let us have an insight of low noise microamplifier design. Besides stability and gain, another important design consideration for a microamplifier is its noise figure. So in receiver applications especially, it is often required to have a preamplifier with as low noise figure as possible, since the first stage of receiver front end has the dominant effect on the noise performance of the overall system. So generally it is not possible to obtain both minimum noise figure and maximum gain for an amplifier. So some sort of compromise must be made. And this can be done by using constant gain circles and circles of constant noise figures to select usable trade-off between noise figure and gain. So now we'll derive the equations for constant noise figure circles and show how they are used in transistor amplifier design. So the noise figure of a two-port amplifier can be expressed as F is equal to F minima into Rn by Gs into Ys minus Y opt the whole square, where Ys is the Gs plus JBS, which is source admittance presented to transistors, and Y opt is the optimum source admittance that results in minimum noise figure. F minimum is the noise figure of transistors attained when Ys is equal to Y opt, and Rn is the equivalent noise resistance of the transistors, and Gs is the real part of the source admittance. So instead of admittance Ys and Y opt, we can use the reflection coefficient tau s and tau opt, where Ys is equal to 1 by Z0 into 1 minus tau s divided by 1 plus tau s, and Y opt is equal to 1 by Z0 into 1 minus tau opt divided by 1 plus tau opt, where tau s is the source reflection coefficient and the quantities F minimum and tau opt is tau opt and Rn are the characteristics of a particular transistor being used and are called the noise parameters of the device that may be given by the manufacturer. Now we can express the quantity Ys minus Y opt the whole squared in terms of tau s and tau opt. That is Ys minus Y opt the whole square is equal to 4 by Z0 squared into tau s minus tau opt the whole square divided by 1 plus tau s squared into 1 plus tau opt squared. So in addition, Gs is given as the real part of Ys, which is given by 1 by 2 Z0 into 1 minus tau s divided by 1 plus tau s plus 1 minus tau s conjugate divided by 1 plus tau s conjugate, which can be written as 1 by Z0 into 1 minus tau s squared divided by 1 plus tau s squared. So using these results, which will give the noise figure as F is equal to F minimum plus 4 Rn by Z0 into tau s minus tau opt the whole square divided by 1 minus tau s square into 1 plus tau opt the whole square. So for fixed noise figure, we can show that this results define a circle in the tau s plane. First define the noise figure parameter as n, that is n is given as tau s minus tau opt the whole square divided by 1 minus tau s square, which is given by F minus F minimum divided by 4 Rn by Z0 into 1 plus tau opt square. And this is a constant for a given noise figure and a set of noise parameters. Then we can write that equation as tau s minus tau opt into tau s conjugate into tau opt conjugate, which is given by tau n into 1 minus tau s square. So tau s into tau s naught, tau s conjugate minus tau s into tau opt conjugate plus tau s conjugate into tau opt plus tau opt into tau opt conjugate is equal to n minus n into tau s square, which can be written as tau s into tau s conjugate minus of tau s into tau opt conjugate plus tau s conjugate into tau opt divided by n plus 1 is equal to n minus tau opt square divided by n plus 1. So adding tau opt squared by n plus 1 square to both sides to complete the square to obtain tau s minus tau opt by n plus 1 is equal to square root of n into n plus 1 minus tau opt squared by n plus 1. So this result defines the circle of constant noise figure with centers at Cf is equal to tau opt by n plus 1 and radii as Rf is equal to square root of n into n plus 1 minus tau op square divided by n plus 1. So as an example, we can take a gallium arsenide MOSFET with which is biased with the minimum noise figure, and with the scattering parameter like S11 is equal to 0.6 angle minus 60 degree and SN2 is 0.05 angle 26 degree and so on. We'll first calculate the value of U, that is the unilateral figure of merit, by the equation S12, S21, S11, S22 divided by 1 minus S11 square into n minus S22 square, which will be given by 0.059, right. So using the equations of noise figure, and we can substitute the values of F and F minimum and Rn and Z naught. We can calculate at noise figure as 0.0986 and CFS tau opt divided by n plus 1 into that is given by 0.56 angle 100 degree. The noise figure can be plotted in the Smith chart, and minimum noise figure occurs for tau is equal to tau opt, that will be given by 0.62 angle 100 degree. So the low noise MOSFET amplifiers can also be derived because MOSFETs have a relatively low AC input impedance, making them difficult to impedance matching. So an external series resistance can be added to the gate, but this approach increases the noise power and degrades its efficiency. So by using a series inductor at the source of a MOSFET, we can design a low noise MOSFET amplifier. However, it is possible to create resistive input impedance without adding noisy resistors, and this technique is called inductive source degeneration, and similar methods can be used with MOSFETs and other transistors also. So the conceptual circuit can be like the MOSFET with a series of resistance and inductance, where inductor Ls is placed in series with the source of the device. So in the equivalent circuit of the amplifier, where we have simplified the model by assuming the transistor is unilateral and that RI, RDS and CDS can be ignored. And for an input current I at the gate of the transistor, the capacitor voltage Vc, which is given by Vc is equal to I divided by J omega CGS, and the gate voltage relative to ground is then V is equal to I divided by J omega CGS plus J omega Ls into I plus Gm into Vc. While taking I outside, that equation gate voltage can be written as V is equal to I into 1 by J omega CGS plus J omega Ls plus Gm into Ls divided by CGS. So the input impedance at the gate is Z is equal to V by I, and therefore that is given by Gm into Ls divided by CGS plus J into omega Ls minus 1 by omega CGS, showing that the circuit has produced an input resistance of Gm Ls by CGS. So the series inductor Ls can be chosen to match the input resistance of the amplifier to a source impedance Z0. So the inductor at the gate LG can then be chosen to cancel the residual input reactance, which is usually capacitive. The combination of the series matching inductor and the gate capacitance and the effective input resistance forms a series RLC resonator. The quality factor Q of this resonator is given by Q is equal to omega LG CGS into Gm into Ls. So the bandwidth of the circuit may be relatively narrow if this Q is high. So while considering this MOSFET amplifier design, the value of Q is probably higher than what we would obtain in practice due to the approximations that have been made in the analysis that the net reactance at the input is Jx is equal to J into omega Ls minus 1 by omega CGS. So the required series inductance for matching can be derived as Lg is equal to minus x divided by omega, right. The ideal amplifier would have constant gain and good input matching over the desired frequency bandwidth. So as the examples, conjugate matching will give maximum gain only over a relatively narrow bandwidth. So designing for less than maximum gain will improve the gain bandwidth, but the input and output ports of the amplifiers will be poorly matched. So these problems are primarily a result of the fact that the microtransistors typically are not well matched to 50 ohms and large impedance mismatch mismatches are governed by the gain bandwidth criterion. And another consideration is that the S21 decreases with the frequency at the rate of 6 dB per octave. So for these reasons, special consideration must be given to the problem of designing broadband amplifiers. And some of the common approaches to this problem. So let us first consider the first case. The compensated matching networks, that is input and output matching sections, can be designed to compensate for the gain roll-off. And the resistive matching networks, good input and output matching can be obtained by using resistive matching networks. And the third thing is the negative feedback can be used to flatten the gain response of the transistor and improve the input and output match and improve the stability of the device. So the amplifier bandwidth is in excess of a decade or possible with this method at the expense of gain and noise figure. Balanced amplifiers can also be used, that is the two amplifiers having 90-degree couplers at their input and output can provide good matching over an octave bandwidth. And distributed amplifiers, that is the several transistors are cascaded together along a transmission line, giving good gain and matching and noise figure over a wide bandwidth. Thank you.